everyone, and welcome to Trending in My Life. And this week we're going for 5 ways to keep yourself cool. So let's get started. So 5 ways to keep yourself cool in this heat wavy weather that we're having. And it could be cool at home, it could be cool when you're traveling, but just generally 5 ways to keep you cool. I'm going to start off with something I only discovered this year. These are freezer neck rings. This particular brand has got 2 different colours on it, and they're all over Amazon. You can find one yourself quite easily. And what you do is you leave them in the freezer, and when they're nice and cold, you can pop them around your neck. Now, lots of the different manufacturers are saying that they will last you for up to 2 hours. Well, I've bought 2 different varieties now, 2 different brands from different sellers, and both times they last about 20 minutes. But this isn't so bad. I come home from work, I've been commuting, I'm really hot, I'm going to jump in the shower, but just before I do, I have to empty my bag out. I have to, if I've got any shopping with me, I have to put it away. So, because it needs to go in the fridge and stuff like that. So what I do is grab one of these out of the freezer, it's round my neck, it's keeping me cool, brings my temperature right down, and I'm able to do that task without feeling, oh, I'm so hot, I can't handle this. So I think they're really great as long as you have reasonable expectations. There's another one which is in like a purple colour. I was lucky, I ordered 3, a pack of 3, just before the first heat wave hit. And so I had 3. I then ordered another 2, and they weren't as good as these. I would say maybe they last about 15 minutes, but close in time. And they're slightly smaller, but they're really good for, like my son, he takes one with him on his walk to the station before work, so he doesn't get too hot on his way to work. And then he keeps it in his bag and he puts it in the freezer or the fridge at work. And then he's able to put it on when he leaves work to keep him cool again on his walk to the station. So these are really good. I'm very impressed with them. Like I said, as long as you have the right expectations, it's not going to last for 2 hours, but anything in the freezer that's then outside or on your warm skin isn't. So about 20 minutes, but they're still good. Now, I also love a cold pack on the back of my neck. Now, these, so that you don't have to go out and buy them, if you have groceries delivered to your home, anything that's frozen usually comes with these little freezer packs inside of the bag that they come in. And these are great. I don't chuck them away, I keep them. Now, I don't usually put them in the freezer, I put them in the fridge, and that seems to keep them cold enough. But I'll get in from work and again I'll be hot, and I can lie down with this on the back of my neck, and usually lay on the settee, so there's something for this to go against. But it's like it keeps that part of my neck really cool, and within 3 to 5 minutes I've cooled right down. And they come in different shapes and sizes depending on the supermarket you use. But I mean, even to sit with one like that on the top of my head if I was typing on my laptop, again, it just cools me right down. People often get like swollen knees or swollen ankles, and this is like a cold pack to just cool that down. So I'm a big fan of these, especially because basically it was free. I have another tips of staying cool that I did a year or 2 years ago, and in that one I had actual cold packs that I've bought off Amazon, but like I say, these days I just use the ones that come from the shops. I especially like these sort of ribbed ones in 3 sections but sometimes they put them in just one big rectangular one as well, but you can do the same with them. And like I said, I just pop mine in the fridge. Now the next one is a can of drink. Now this is because if you're out and you're hot and you need something to cool you down quickly, there's usually a shop around which you can pop in and buy something. And if you buy a can of drink, any can of drink, you can roll it like this. You can walk along or sit on a bus and you can roll it along your neck, or just hold it by your neck and hold it on the back of your neck for a few minutes. Don't care how crazy you look. You know, if it's hot, everyone's doing crazy stuff. And it will, oh, that's lovely. It will really cool you down. And yes, you're going to drink it, okay, and it's a cold drink and it will cool you down. But just before you do that, if you put it on all different parts of your skin, it will help the main part of your body cool down as well. So always worth doing that. Oh yes, this is a sort of hiker's tip. I picked this up and as a, like I said, it was a walker saying something that you should always carry with you. You should always carry a spare pair of socks. Have one pair on and carry a spare pair of socks. And what he said was, if you change your socks, it's like having new shoes on or fresh shoes on. And I didn't really believe this, but then I started doing it when I left work and I would put a fresh pair of socks on. And he's right, it does make a huge difference. And anything like that, when it's hot and your feet are sweaty, your feet will be uncomfortable. And then if you change into a spare pair of socks, it's like having a fresh pair of shoes on. And that's a great way to help you stay cool. Right, this is a bit unique or different. This is a Jade heart, which I was gifted as, well, it's just like an ornament, right? But what I discovered was the stone seems to stay cold a lot. So I put it in my bag one day, and then when I got it out, I thought, that feels really cold. Oh, that's nice. It feels cold. Even though it was a hot day, my bag had been in the sunshine, that little stone stayed cold. And I found that when I get to work, I would be hot and maybe have a headache. And what I do with this little stone is I just rest it on my forehead and just gently rub it around for just a few seconds. And then on the other side. And then I just sort of rub it down my neck, and I thought, oh, this is really nice. You could just hold it in one place. And what I discovered is you'll start to get warm when you do that. But all I'd have to do was just leave it on my desk for a few minutes and it would go cold again just by itself. So it must be the sort of characteristic of the stone. Now ladies, I know a lot of you have these face rollers and they are often made out of jade. So slip that in your bag when you're on your way to work so that you can use it in the same way and just give yourself a quick roll on your neck or on your forehead and it will help to cool you down. So that was sort of a one that I discovered. Now, I know we've done 5, but the other things I've got to show you are things that I've shown you before. And this I bought this year off Amazon haul, and this is an SPF50 umbrella. So it has a black inside that reflects the sun or stops the sun getting through to you. And I've used this, I've had one in previous years, but this year I've used this a lot. And it's just because sometimes I'm in a street where there isn't a shady side of the street and I've got my sun hat on and I've got my arms covered and stuff, but I just need a little bit extra because I still feel like the sun is beating down from like one side of me or something. And I've used this a lot this year. I won't put it up in here because we all know it's unlucky to put umbrellas up in the house. Of course, sun hats, I wouldn't go anywhere without one of my sun hats, always wearing those. And the trick with those, if it's going to be hot when I go out, is always to put it in the fridge or in the freezer for a little bit before I go out, so that when it goes on my head, then it's cool to start with. So that's even better. I always have quite a tight strap on them, because when it's windy it stops them blowing away. Now, lots of people are carrying those fans that you can hold that blow on you on transport. It always happens in the summer. There's usually one that's all the rage, and I have to admit my bag is always full, so I try and find something different. And the very old-fashioned proper fan, original type fan, is what I go for. And I also think you'd be surprised just how much air you get from that. It's really nice and cooling. And what I'd say is, it's also something that you can do if you don't have one, because if you've got a bag, you'll have even a piece of paper, if you don't have a piece of card, that you can concertina up, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, scrunch it together and just go like that. Works just as well. It's one of those things, you can make your own fan on the go. So that's always a great tip to have. This is me coming back from walking outside, and I'll show you the wet towel that's been in the fridge in the little case. This was something I got in my Amazon haul. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. I am so hot at the moment. I can't wait to put this on the back of my neck. This is wet, and it's been in the fridge in that case. So here I am, all hot and sweaty and feeling miserable. Here's the towel. So let's give it a go. Oh yes. Oh yes. That feels so good. Wow. That's great. See, I should have had it with me and I forgot. But even so, coming home to it, oh, that's incredible. So if you've enjoyed the video this week, please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and come back next time. And if you have any tips for keeping cool, please put it in the comments. Bye for now.